Chapter 4. The Halls of Amenti. Emerald Tablet 2. And Thoth said, Deep in earth's heart lies the halls of Amenti, far beneath the islands of sunken Atlantis, halls of the dead and halls of the living, bathed in the fire of the infinite awe. Far in a past time, lost in the space-time, the children of light looked down on the world, seeing the children of men in their bondage, bound by the force that came from beyond. Knew they that only by freedom from bondage could man ever rise from the earth to the sun. According to Thoth, only free-thinking individuals using their own conscious thoughts can be capable of rising up to a higher level of consciousness. And Thoth said, Down they descended and created bodies, taking the semblance of men as their own. The masters of everything said after their forming, We are they who were formed from space dust, partaking of life from the infinite all, living in the world as children of men, yet unlike the children of men. During later ages, the ego of Thoth passed into the bodies of men in the manner described in the tablets. As such, he incarnated 3 times, and his last being known as Hermes the Thrice Born. The 2045 Initiative is a non-profit organization that helps develop a network and community of researchers in the field of life extension. The main goal of the 2045 Initiative, as stated on this website, 2045.com, is to create technologies enabling the transfer of an individual's personality to a more advanced non-biological carrier and extending life, including to the point of immortality. We devote particular attention to enabling the fullest possible dialogue between the world's major spiritual traditions, science, and society. And 2045 Avatar Project milestones. In 2045, there will be a hologram-like avatar. As evidenced by the information provided on 2045.com, it appears that we are following in the footsteps of the Atlanteans, who were seeking eternal life in the physical form. Take a look at some of the goals and initiatives being planned by the group at 2045.com. From the year 2015 to 2020, 2045.com would like to create and supply the world with affordable Android avatars that will be controlled by a system that links people's brains with computers. 2020 to 2025, they would like to create an autonomous life support system in which a human brain can be taken out of a body and kept alive while being linked to a robotic avatar. Their hope is that a person whose body is failing them can live a full life. 2030 to 2035, the group at 2045.com wishes to create immortality by building a computer model of the brain that allows human consciousness to be transferred into the artificial carrier, giving everyone the possibility of cybernetic immortality. 2045. By this date, 2045.com would like to have established a new era for humanity in which the technological brains and transferred minds can receive new bodies with capabilities that far exceed the abilities of the human body. According to the 2045 initiative mission statement, the challenge for the immediate future is to prepare humanity for its greatest intellectual transition in history. Today, it is hard to imagine a future when bodies consisting of nanorobots will become affordable and capable of taking any form. It is also hard to imagine body holograms featuring controlled matter. One thing is clear, however: humanity, for the first time in its history, will make a fully managed evolutionary transition and eventually become a new species. Moreover, prerequisites for large-scale expansion into outer space will be created as well. An annual Congress, the Global Future 2045, is organized by the Strategic Social Initiative to give a platform for discussing mankind's evolutionary strategy based on technologies of cybernetic immortality, as well as the possible impact of such technologies on global society, politics, and economies of the future. Critics of Iskoff and his associates maintain that the brain is not reducible to bits of data transferable into a computer-like AI system, and that such a reality is so far out of the reach of modern science as to make the project for immortality seem more like fantasy than reality. Or has it been done before the time of scientific revolution, and modernists are too afraid to acknowledge the possibilities of such a premise? DARPA reveals Avatar program. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, is an agency of the United States Department of Defense responsible for the development of emerging technologies for use by the military, according to Sebastian Anthony of Extreme Tech News. The Avatar goal is to work on interfaces and algorithms to enable a soldier to effectively partner with a semi-autonomous bipedal machine and allow it to act as the soldier's surrogate. DARPA wants to develop the walking equivalent of an unarmed aerial vehicle, a bipedal robot drone, where the controlling soldier is hundreds or thousands of miles away from the war front. DARPA's goals for the Avatar program are not science fiction. The technology already exists to make it work and pull it off. And Thoth said, "Then for a dwelling place, far beneath the earth's crust, blasted great spaces they by their power, spaces apart from the sons, the children of men, surrounded them by forces and power, shielded from harm they, the halls of the dead." This appears to refer to the history of the 32 masters and the plan they executed. They left their base reality and entered the holographic simulation we call our universe. They then proceeded to transfer their consciousness into avatars and build a great deep underground base of operations. The underground base was blasted out by superior earth-boring technologies and then protected by a force field. Within this home base, they built the Halls of Amenti, which appears to be powered by a crystal that directs energy emanating from the flower of life. The crystal structure used is most likely an eighth-dimensional quasi-crystal. By this method, they could project a 3D dimensional hologram of our entire universe. The Great Pyramid of Giza can focus electromagnetic energy in its hidden rooms. Boffins from ITMO University and the Laser Zentrum Hanover found that the 481-foot building is capable of creating pockets of higher energy in its inner rooms and at its base. The research group plans to use the results to design nanoparticles, which will then be used to develop sensors and highly efficient solar cells. Dr. Andrei Evlukian, scientific supervisor and coordinator of the study, said, "We decided to look at the Great Pyramid as a particle dissipating radio waves resonantly. There is also a third unfinished chamber beneath the base of the huge structure. The team's analysis shows that the powerful pyramid concentrates electromagnetic energy in its internal chambers." Emergence theory. Emergence theory is a quantum gravity unification theory that brings together quantum mechanics, general and special relativity. At the root of emergence theory is the idea that the whole of reality is made of information that must follow rules and be enacted upon by a user. According to the theory, information is defined as symbols that convey meaning. Codes and languages are examples of symbols that convey meaning. These symbols and meanings must then follow rules. For example, words must be arranged in a certain way to create communication. Lastly, a chooser or some form of consciousness must exist to interact with the information or choose how it is used. Speaking of language and codes, science has observed that reality is geometric at all scales. Additionally, some scientists hypothesize that all meaning in our physical reality is expressed through an entirely geometric language or code using symbolism. Bring the mathematics or quasi-crystals into it, and a more complete picture can be seen. For instance, think of how movies are composed of single frames. Each frame is complete and has the potential to be full of meaning. Combine several movie frames at a particular speed, and the frames disappear into a fluidity of patterns that appear seamless. Over many of these frames, patterns emerge on the 3D quasi-crystal. These patterns become more and more meaningful and sophisticated with time. Gradually, patterns resembling and acting as particles form on the quasi-crystal. With time, these particles take on more and more complex forms, and eventually, the reality we all know and love emerges, just as the story of a movie unfolds. Besides codes and languages, space-time also comes into play when speaking of the emergence theory. Building on Einstein's space-time model, in which the universe and past exist simultaneously in one geometric object, emergence theory views space-time in similar ways. The theory states that there is a dynamic and causality loop relationship between all moments in time, in which the past influences the future and the future influences the past. Einstein's space-time theories come into the fore in the realizing emergence theory as viewing past and future events existing at the same time in a single geometric reality. Our consciousness emerges in such a construct and exists in all three-dimensional quasi-crystals comparable to tiny observers, allowing for the development of higher levels of thought. These continue to expand and grow and spread out like the petals of a flower, becoming larger and larger and more possessive of the space around them until they occupy the furthest areas of the universe. In such a scenario, it would not be far-fetched to realize mankind occupying vast spaces with an innumerable cadre of galaxies, becoming, as it were, a giant neural network. The collective consciousness takes on new meaning in this model. Complete and more thorough examination of emergence theory and consciousness can be found at quantumgravityresearch.org. And Thoth said, side by side then placed they other spaces, filled them with light, with life and light from above. Builded they then the halls of Amenti, that they might dwell eternally there, living with life to eternity's end. 32 there were of the children, sons of light, who had come among men, seeking to free from the bondage of darkness those who were bound by the force from beyond. Deep in the halls of life grew a flower, flaming, expanding, driving backward the night. Placed in the center a ray of great potence, life-giving, light-giving, filling with power to all who came near it. Placed they around it thrones, 32 and 30, places for each of the children of light, placed so that they were bathed in the radiance, filled with the life from the eternal light. Open your eye. These flower of life representations, which are encoded with the 62 grid tetrahedron's parallax. However, these are actually two-dimensional representations of a three-dimensional structure. This structure is actually a shadow being laid down by an eighth-dimensional quasi-crystal. This shadow is what we call the entire universe, creating a matrix in which we are all fully immersed. Ancient civilizations left us a pattern to follow all over the planet. And Thoth said, there time after time placed they their first created bodies, so that they might be filled with the spirit of life. 100 years out of each 1,000 must the life-giving light flame forth on their bodies, quickening, awakening the spirit of life. There in the circle from eon to eon sit the great masters, living a life not known among men. There in the halls of life they lie sleeping. Free flows their soul through the bodies of men. Time after time, while their bodies lie sleeping, incarnate they in the bodies of men, teaching and guiding onward and upward, out of the darkness into the light. You can see here in these passages that the Atlantean lords have the ability to occupy biological avatars while their bodies are in a state of deep meditation in the halls of Amenti. Regeneration, quickening, awakening, could also be a prerequisite to entering a higher form of consciousness that enables the believer to fall into a deep meditation. This passage concludes that regardless of the state of meditation, the believer will always be moving onward and upward toward the light. Many believe that the Anunnaki and Atlanteans genetically modified proto-modern humans on this planet to become Homo sapiens sapiens. Prior to the proliferation of our species, the Earth was being more and more populated by two other species of wise people, Homo sapiens idaltu and Homo sapiens neanderthalensis. Oddly enough, it is generally accepted by most scientists today that Homo sapiens sapiens were the primary occupants of planet Earth about 50,000 years ago, a number that fits dramatically with the Thoth narrative. This genetic modification significantly increased the modern human DNA capacity for the gathering and maintaining of information. What modern scientists are calling worthless DNA is anything but. There is a message written on that DNA, and it was purposely disconnected by the Anunnaki to prevent humans from reaching supreme higher realms of consciousness and superior intelligence. You are a breathing, walking hard drive with trillions of terabytes of data on your biological hard drive. At Harvard's Wise Institute, two geneticists and bioengineers have basically relegated DNA as comparative to a digital storage device. 1 gram of DNA can store 7,000 gigabits of data. The work, carried out by George Church and Sri Kosuri, treats DNA as just another digital storage device. That means there is enough room for information storage and a smidgen of DNA that would fit on the tip of a frog's tail. We are living in a fractal holographic matrix, a fully immersed hologram in a holographic universe. The edges of our universe are two-dimensional planes that form a three-dimensional form that is projecting the holographic fractals of which we are a part of and in which your spirit is currently trapped. Your spirit is outside this space-time model and is actually being broadcast like a radio frequency. None of us are actually here. This is a third dimension matrix producing a type of temporal consciousness. In the book Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot, the author teaches that we are living in a holographic matrix. Thought or internal consciousness materializes reality on this planet as a vibrating light hologram and is brought in through an electromagnetic frequency, vibration/sound. Thus, what we see or think of as a solid reality is a hologram created through thought, light, and sound. Everything in this material world is here because our higher light frequency of self has called everything into being. We are a collective consciousness of everything created. Our particles instantaneously communicate with one another regardless of distance. Whether we are 10 feet or 10 billion miles apart, somehow each particle always seems to know what the other is doing. All information possessed by the whole, and although we think we are separate from this whole, we are not. Separation is an illusion. The whole of all that exists cannot be separated. We are a part of a fractal of light that makes up this entire third dimension and this holographic universe, which was designed by our ancestor civilization. These ancestors are most likely the Atlanteans of old. We are the Sims. Your consciousness wave function collapses electromagnetic energy into quantified digital bits of information we call data. According to Robert Skopek, we are probably living in a fractal holographic matrix. The edges of our universe are two-dimensional planes that form a three-dimensional dodecahedron that is projecting the holographic fractals of which we are a part of and in which your spirit is currently trapped. The spirit is outside of this space-time model and is being broadcast in like a radio frequency. None of us are actually here. This third-dimensional matrix appears to be a type of temporal consciousness prison. Thus, what we see or think of as a solid reality is a hologram created through thought, light, and sound. Everything in this material world is here because our higher light frequency of self has called them into being. Like in a video game, the next frame of graphics appears as the characters on the screen need them to. We are a collective consciousness of everything created. Our particles instantaneously communicate with one another regardless of distance. Thanks to quantum entanglement entropy, each particle seems to know what the other is doing. All information is possessed by the whole, despite we think we are separate from this whole. In reality, we are not. Separation is an illusion, and thanks to quantum entanglement entropy, we cannot be separated from the whole. We are a part of a fractal of light that makes up this entire third dimension and this holographic universe. Can the existence of our consciousness be the gift from our Atlantean space travelers? And Thoth said, there in the hall of life, filled with their wisdom, known not to the races of man, living forever beneath the cold fire of life, sit the children of light. Times there are when they awaken, come from the depths to be lights among men. Infinite, yet infinite they among finite men. The Atlantean lords had the ability to astral project from their regenerating avatars and enter the matrix, so to speak. They had the ability to engage humankind even from the astral form. They would keep their avatars young by maintaining a strict regimen of physical time inside the halls of Amenti regeneration chambers. Remember, Thoth claims to have descended 10 times into the chamber while spending 100 years inside the chamber each time. That means he has spent a total of 10,000 years in regeneration of his physical avatars. These lords also have unlimited access to the halls of Amenti for use at any time that they see fit. And Thoth said, he who by progress has grown from the darkness lifted himself from the night into the light. Free is he made of the halls of Amenti, free of the flower of light and of life. Guided he then by wisdom and knowledge, passes from men to the master of life. There he may dwell as one of the masters, as one with the masters, free from the bonds of the darkness of night, seated within the flower of radiance sit 7 lords from the space-times above us, helping and guiding through infinite wisdom, the pathway through time of the children of men. Mighty and strange, they, veiled with their power, silent, all-knowing, drawing the life force, different yet one with the children of men. Different and yet one with the children of light. Custodians and watchers of the force of man's bondage, ready to loose when the light has been reached. They are waiting for us to grow up. Mankind is still an infant. We have not even begun to crawl yet. A very good sign that we are ready will be when the 7.5 billion rise up together and remove the 100 elite families that are running the planet. And Thoth said, "First and most mighty sits the veiled presence, Lord of lords, the infinite nine, over the other from each, the lords of the cycles. 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, each with his mission, each with his powers, guiding, directing the destiny of man. There they sit, mighty and potent, free from all time and space." Thoth went to the land of Chem, which later chose its capital to be Hermopolis, also known as Chemenu. The Egyptian name of the city means 8 town, after the Ogdod, a group of 8 primordial deities whose prehistoric cult had once dominated there. And Thoth said, "Not of this world they, yet akin to it, elder brothers they, the children of men, judging and waiting they with their wisdom, watching the progress of light among men." As you can see from the verses, the Atlantean lords are secretly guiding and managing mankind from the underground base. They claim to be helping raise man back to a high level of civilization and high level of consciousness. These are the watchers of old. Did you know that the Great Pyramid has 8 sides? This is not a well-known fact. The central lines of each side, from the base to the peak, have a concave nature, creating 8 sides instead of 4. And Thoth said, "There before them was I led by the dweller, watched him blend with one from above. Then from he came forth a voice saying, Great art thou, Thoth, among children of men, free henceforth of the halls of Amenti, master of life among children of men. Taste not of death except as thou will it. Drink thou of life to eternity's end. Henceforth forever is life thine for the taking. Henceforth is death at the call of thy hand." The Atlanteans have been given eternal life, not by magic or by the power of God, but by wisdom and understanding on how to manipulate energy in the ether itself. And Thoth said, "Dwell here, or leave here when thou desireth. Free is Amenti to the Son of Man." Notice the spelling of sun, S-U-N. This is a direct reference to the sun from the Atlantean home world. They are the only ones with access to the halls of Amenti. And Thoth said, "Then from his throne came one of the masters, taking my hand and leading me onward. Through all the halls of the deep hidden land led he me through the halls of Amenti, showing the mysteries that are not known to man. Through the dark passage downward he led me, into the hall where sit the dark death, where sight the dark death. Vast as space lay the great hall before me, walled by darkness, but yet filled by light. Before me arose a great throne of darkness, veiled on it, seated a figure of night. Darker than darkness sat the great figure, dark with a darkness not of the night. Before it then paused the master, speaking, the word that brings about life, saying, O master of darkness, guide of the way from life unto life, before thee I bring a son of the morning. Touch him not ever with the power of night. Call not his flame to the darkness of night. Know him and see him, one of our brothers, lifted from darkness into the night. Release thou his flame from its bondage. Free, let it flame through the darkness of night. Raise then the hand of the figure. Forth came a flame that grew clear and bright, rolled back swiftly the curtain of darkness, unveiled the hall from the darkness of night. Then grew in the space before me flame after flame from the veil of the night. Uncounted millions leaped they before me, some flaming north, some flaming forth as flowers of fire. Some there were that faded swiftly, others that grew from a small spark of light, each surrounded by its dim veil of darkness, yet flaming with light that could never be quenched. Coming and going like fireflies in springtime, filled they with space, with light and with life. Then spoke a voice mighty and solemn, saying, These are lights that are souls among men, growing and fading, existing forever, changing yet living through death into life. When they have bloomed into flower, reached the zenith of growth in their life, swiftly then send I my veil of darkness, shrouding and changing to new forms of life. So grows the soul of man ever upward, quenched yet unquenched by the darkness of night. I, death, come, and yet I remain not, for life eternal exists in the all. Only an obstacle, I, in the pathway, quick to be conquered by the infinite light. Awaken, O flame that burns ever inward, flame forth and conquer the veil of the night. Then in the midst of the flames, in the darkness, grew there one that drove forth the night, flaming, expanding, ever brighter, until at last was nothing but light. Then spoke I, O great master, let me be a teacher among men, leading them onward and upward until they, too, are lights among men, freed from the veil of the night that surrounds them, flaming with light that shall shine among men. Spoke to me then the voice, Go as yet will, so be it decreed. Master are ye of your destiny, free to take or reject at will. Take yet the power, take ye the wisdom, shine as a light among the children of men. Chapter 5, The Key of Wisdom. Emerald Tablet 3. And Thoth said, I, Thoth the Atlantean, give of my knowledge, give of my power, give of my wisdom, give that they too might have wisdom to shine through the world. Wisdom is power, and power is wisdom. One with each other, perfecting the whole. Be thou not proud, O man, in thy wisdom. Discourse with the ignorant as well as the wise. If one comes to thee full of knowledge, listen and heed, for wisdom is all. In the article Thought, Pride, and Arrogance, Gyan Radchans eloquently defines these steps in step with Thoth's admonitions. Pride rears its head even in the most unsuspected corners. One man may be proud that he is proud, and another proud that he is not proud. While one may be proud that he is a non-believer in God, another may be proud of his devotion to God. Learning may render one man proud, and yet ignorance can also be the source of pride for another man. Ego is nothing but pride in its inflated form. And Thoth said, keep thou not silent when evil is spoken for truth. Like the sunlight shines above all, he who oversteppeth the law shall be punished. For only through law comes the freedom of men. Cause thou not fear, for fear is a bondage, a fetter that binds the darkness to men. Thoth is empowering humans to speak up when injustice, wrongdoings, racism, unfair treatment, and any other evil thing that is happening around us. The law is the law of karmic energy. And Thoth said, follow thine heart during thy lifetime. Do thou more than is commanded of thee. When thou hast gained riches, follow thou thine heart. For all these are of no avail if thine heart be weary. Diminish thou not the time of following thine heart. It is abhorred of the soul. They that are guided go not astray, but they that are lost cannot find a straight path. If thou go among men, make for thyself love, the beginning and end of the heart. If one cometh unto thee for counsel, let him speak freely, that the thing for which he hath come to thee may be done. If he hesitates to open his heart to thee, it is because thou, the judge, doeth the wrong. Repeat thou not extravagant speech, neither listen thou to it, for it is the utterance of one not in equilibrium. Speak thou not of it, so that he before thee may know wisdom. Silence is of great profit. In abundance of speech profiteth nothing. Exalt not thine heart above the children of men, lest it be brought lower than the dust. Another verse from the Bible that some believe originate in the emerald tablets. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, they are life. John 6:33. How familiar do those words of Thoth sound when he says, if one finds riches but cannot lose his weariness? As found in the Bible, what does it profit a man if he loseth his soul? When someone comes for your counsel and cannot be satisfied, it is you who have done wrong. Also, don't speak aloud with extravagant speech. No one appreciates the boisterous talk of the ignorant. Simply above simply to talk talk is of no value when silence can bring true riches. It is easy to see the fairness in the words of Thoth. And Thoth said, "If thou be great among men, be honored for knowledge and gentleness. If thou seekest to know the nature of a friend, ask not his companion, but pass a time alone with him, debate with him, testing his heart by his words and his bearing. That which goeth into the storehouse must come forth, and the things that are thine must be shared with a friend. Knowledge is regarded by the fool as ignorance, and the things that are profitable are to him hurtful. He liveth in death. It is therefore his food." As we can see here, greatness is about possessing knowledge and wisdom. This idea is parallel to the teachings of the Apostle Paul in biblical times. In 1 Corinthians 1:18, it's written, "Hath not God made foolish the wisdom of this world?" In other words, true knowledge cannot be perceived by the average person who perceives it to be foolishness. Christians teach the knowledge of the light found in Jesus, which to the rest of the world is foolishness. And Thoth said, "The wise man lets his heart overflow, but keeps silent his mouth. O man, listen to the voice of wisdom. Listen to the voice of light. Mysteries there are in the cosmos that unveiled fill the world with their light. Let he who would be free from the bonds of darkness first divine the material from the immaterial, the fire from the earth. For know ye that as earth descends to earth, so also fire ascends unto fire and becomes one with fire. He who knows the fire that is within himself shall ascend unto the eternal fire, and dwell in it eternally. Fire, the inner fire, is the most potent of all forces, for it overcometh all things and penetrates to all things of the earth. Man supports himself only on that which resists. So earth must resist man, else he existeth not. All eyes do not see with the same vision, for to one an object appears of one form and color, and to a different eye of another. So also the infinite fire, changing from color to color, is never the same from day to day. Thus speak I, Thoth, of my wisdom, for a man is a burning fire, bright through the night, never is quenched in the veil of the darkness, never is quenched by the veil of the night. Into men's hearts I looked by my wisdom, found them not free from the bondage of strife, free from the toils, thy fire, O my brother, lest it be buried in the shadow of the night. Hark ye, O man, and listen to his wisdom. Where do name and form cease? Only in consciousness, invisible, an infinite force of radiance, bright. The forms that ye create by brightening. The vision are truly effects that follow thy cause. Man is a star bound to a body, until in the end he is freed through his strife. Only by struggle and toiling thy utmost shall the star within thee bloom out in new life. He who knows the commencement of all things, free is his star from the realm of night. We are all beings of photonic light, temporarily trapped in a physical body. We are here to learn and seek wisdom. Those that do not acquire wisdom and understanding are set to reincarnate back into the cycle over and again. Those that learn life's lessons and gain knowledge and wisdom will be set free from the reincarnation cycle and may be able to consciously incarnate at will anywhere in the universe. And Thoth said, remember, O man, that all exists. Remember, O man, that all which exists is only another form of that which exists not. Everything that has being is passed into yet another being, and thou thyself are not an exception. In this passage, Thoth is referencing what we know as physics. The second law of thermodynamics states that the state of entropy of the entire universe is an isolated system and will always increase over time. The second law also states that the changes in the entropy in the universe can never be negative. Energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed. And Thoth said, consider the law, for all is law. Seek not that which is not of the law, for such exists only in the illusion of the senses. Wisdom cometh to all her children, even as they cometh unto wisdom. All through the ages the light has been hidden. Awake, O man, and be wise. Deep in the mysteries of life have I traveled, seeking and searching for that which is hidden. List ye, O man, and be wise. Far beneath the earth crust in the halls of Amenti, mysteries I saw that are hidden from men. Oft have I journeyed the deep hidden passage, looked on the light that is life among men. There, neath the flowers of life, ever living, searched I the hearts and the secrets of men, found that man is but living in darkness. Light of the great fire is hidden within. Masters are they of the great secret wisdom, brought from the future of infinity's end. 7 are they, the lords of Amenti, overlords they of the children of the morning, sons of cycles, masters of wisdom. Formed are not they as the children of men? 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. 9 are the titles of the masters of men. Far from the future, formless yet forming, came they as teachers for the children of men. Live they forever, yet not of the living. Bound not to life, and yet free from death. Rule they forever with infinite wisdom. Bound, yet not bound to the dark halls of death. Life they have in them, yet life that is not life. Free from all are the lords of the all. Forth From them came forth the Logos, instruments they of the power over all. Vast is their countenance, yet hidden in smallness, formed by a forming, known yet unknown. 3 holds the key of all hidden magic, creator he of the halls of the dead, sending forth power, shrouding with darkness, binding the souls of the children of men, sending the darkness, binding the soul force, director of negative to the children of men. 4 is he who looses the power, Lord he of life to the children of men. Light is his body, flame is his countenance, freer of souls to the children of men. 5 is the master, the Lord of all magic, key to the word that resounds among men. 6 is the Lord of light, the hidden pathway, path of the souls of the children of men. 7 is he who is Lord of the vastness, master of space, and the key of the times. 8 is he who orders the progress, weighs and balances the journey of men. 9 is the Father, vast he of countenance, forming and changing from out of the formless. Okay? In the Cairo Museum is displayed one of Egypt's most enigmatic coffins. It's called the Coffin of Petamon. The inscriptions found chiseled fuel the imagination of anyone who investigates. They read, I am 1 that transforms into 2. I am 2 that transforms into 4. I am 4 that transforms into 8. After this, I am 1. The octave of creation. The octogenic stone of the alchemist, only recently glimpsed by modern people, is part of the fundamental matrix of reality described in the Emerald Tablets and represents an archetypal template from which diverse modern mystical and religious symbols have emerged. How did the ancients view the stone? The Egyptian octad, or 8 qualities of creation, was worshipped in the temples of Hermopolis, where Thoth was regarded as the head of the group of 8 and was responsible for enabling them to come into existence. Thoth, inventor of the musical octave, is responsible for embedding it in the mathematics of the universe. The sacred name of Hermopolis, Kemenu, means the city of 8, and is possibly the origin of our word alchemy. According to the ancient Egyptian papyri, the ultimate act of creation was the 8th, which returned directly to the 1. I am the 1 that transforms into 2. I am the 2 that transforms into 4. I am the 4 that transforms into 8. After this, I am 1 again. We now recognize this ancient sequence as the dance of life itself. In the division of every human cell, a process known as mitosis takes place that involves a sequence of the 7 steps of transformation, including 7 steps of transformation, resulting in an equal dividing of genetic material, and in the 8th step, the creation of a new cell, also known in modern science as mitosis. This research from the Emerald Tablet, Alchemy of Personal Transformation by Dennis Hawk. The symbol for the seed of life is a ubiquitous sacred geometric symbol. The seed of life was even deemed the egg of life and fruit of life, a direct reference once again to our primordial egg. The seed of life is said to be a reflection or geometric expression of the story of creation, with God doing his mighty work in 6 days and resting on the seventh, or Sabbath. The same motif we used to discover the cryptogram or cipher for the English alphabet. The seed of life is created by adding 1 circle a day to the original egg or sphere of creation, with the second day creating our ever-present Vesica Pisces, which we deem as the vessel of the pi scission. Symbolically, this entire process reflects the process of cell division that we see in human reproduction called meiosis or meiosis. And Thoth said, "Meditate on the symbols I give thee. Keys are they, though hidden from men. Reach ever upward, O soul of the morning. Turn thy thoughts upward to the light and to life. Find in the keys of the numbers I bring thee light on the pathway from life unto life. Seek ye with wisdom, turn thy thoughts inward. Close not thy mind to the flower of life. Place in thy body a thought-formed picture. Think of the numbers that lead thee to life. Clear is the pathway to he who has wisdom. Open the door to the kingdom of light. Pour forth thy flame as a son of the morning. Shut out the darkness and live in the day. Take thee, O man, as part of thy being, the 7 who are but are not as they seem. Opened, O man, have I my wisdom. Follow the path in the way I have led. Masters of wisdom, son of the morning light and life to the children of men." I'm sure you have all heard this famous quote by Nikola Tesla. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe. But did you know that the equinox and solstices are in March, June, and September? These months are 3, 6, and 9. Could this be the key Tesla was referring to? There must be some great power to these events, since almost every ancient civilization had structures made for this occurrence.